Welcome to the Graybeard Chronicles podcast. Your hosts, Brian Halstead and Kevin Harkins, are two gray-bearded patriots who love God, their family and friends, and their country. The Graybeards are here to inspire, inform, and educate you on a myriad of topics they are passionate about. Brian and Kevin have a strong desire to share this with you to help you live your best life. Sit back and enjoy this amazing podcast as the Graybeards pass along the wisdom of the ages.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. I'm Brian Halstead.
And I'm Kevin Harkins.
And Kevin, we're here to pass along some wisdom of the ages. What the heck does that mean?
We're not perfect, but we do have gray beards. And that means we've got some significant life experience, some life lessons, and some perspectives that are worthy of passing along.
Well, I think that sums it up nicely. Let's get to it. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, Bryant, how are you?
I am well, thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Even though it's in a remote format, you're not obviously, not face to face today. But
thank you.
Good
for
to
being
see you nonetheless.
accommodating.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
thank you for being accommodating with my change of plans today.
It's all good.
Propped up.
It happens to both of us, so
Yes, it
all
does.
good. Yeah.
I'm in the new tobacco barn today. This is our new office, and it's obviously a different background, but I got to figure out the right things to put up on the wall over here. But I'll figure that out, and this is where you'll be seeing a lot more of me when we do this remotely.
Nice. Yeah, and that background in and of itself doesn't look bad.
It's pretty cool.
That brick's been there for a minute.
Since 1820.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's outstanding.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I look forward to getting down there and seeing that building now that it's been refurbed. And
anytime you want to come by, I look forward to it.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, I'll be here a lot. So there you go.
So everything good in your world? Good weekend?
Yeah, good weekend. Loving the spring.
Yeah. How about Saturday? What'd you do on Saturday? Anything productive?
Spent some time with my daughter. Mowed the lawn. What you? Well, oh, okay, I got it. Sorry.
No, there goes the light bulb.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little slow today. I was like, why are you asking me such a specific question?
I just lobbed a softball up there right across the plate, and it was just ready for you to smack it out of the park, and you missed. Swing and a miss.
Every moment of Saturday. I mean, it was tight. It was good. It was productive. It was efficient and effective. It was relaxing. It was all of that.
That's good. That's outstanding. Because
how was yours?
Well, mine was outstanding as well. Had an entire weekend that I spent with my club brothers, and it's the first time that I'd been out on a distance, any kind of significant distance, motorcycle ride in over a year. So
Wow.
It was very cool. And I said on more than one occasion the importance of cherishing that experience, right? Being able to, whatever it is for you, whether it's riding motorcycles or spending time with your family, significant other, I mean, all of those things. And that you can't do them all at one time, all the time. Sometimes you're fortunate enough to be able to combine those activities together.
Right.
But man, it's just it was an absolute blessing to be back out there on the bike. And I remember, just how much I missed it when it's like a whole different, it's almost like it's like an active meditation.
I was gonna say it's like therapy for you. Yeah, it's like therapy for you.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. So yeah, is that why you asked me about that? Where are you heading with it?
I wanted to lob that thing out there about Saturday, so give you an opportunity to throw out there what we were talking about. But ultimately, Saturdays, I came across this story about the fact that we only have X number of Saturdays in our lives, and this particular story was around the fact that based on the expected life range of a human in America. And I think it was based on America, but anyways, and a male in particular. So right now, based on the research I can find, it says that that average age of life expectancy is 76 years. So if you work that out, it comes up to 4,000 Saturdays.
Okay. Ish. Yeah.
And when you start thinking about that, it's like, 4,000, that's a big damn number. Until you subtract the ones that you've already spent.
Right.
Then it's like, that number's not quite so big anymore. And the whole idea behind the concept, and you could use, Saturdays, Wednesdays, because for some people, maybe, most of the time, I think it's based on the fact that most people have Saturday off as a leisure day to do what they want.
Right.
Now, that's not the case for everybody. There's folks that work shift work and have other obligations and aren't able to do exactly what they want to do on Saturday. So, your Saturday might actually be a Wednesday, and the same concept works. That you need to focus on the fact that you only have a finite number of those, and you don't actually know what that number is. And so make them all worthwhile. Make sure that you're not squandering those days, and use them for, recharging, use them for quality time with people you care about, and just doing things you enjoy doing things that are worthwhile.
Yeah. So here's a sobering thought. I did the math on this while I was thinking about and preparing for this podcast. And so I'm 60. If I die when I'm 80, I don't think I will. I don't plan to. I don't want to. I think I'll live beyond that. But that's. I mean, at that point, I'm even above average in terms of male, because men on average die younger at a younger age than women do.
Right.
But if I live to 80, that's 20, I got 400 weekends left. I got 400 Saturdays left. We started with 4,000. Now I got 400. That's, you talk about sobering.
What in the, so when Kevin initially rolled out with that number 400, I was thinking to myself, something was off. I wasn't fast enough in the moment to call it out and fix it. So I waited till the podcast was done recording. And then I processed it thoroughly and realized that, yeah, that math is just way wrong. So I called Kevin and we had a brief discussion. And we decided not to record the whole thing over again, but just plug a little video in there that says, Kevin does not claim to be a mathematician. He doesn't do his own taxes or his own accounting, which is a good thing. And we know that that number of 400 that he threw out was way too low. Turns out, with roughly 52 Saturdays in every year and 53 in some, in that 20-year span, he's good for another 1,040 plus. So that's the good news. And so when you hear that number 400 referenced a few more times in the video or see it, just know that we know it's way wrong.
And I had this thought, and I'm really glad you brought this up because it took me back. It's been a number of years ago where I was thinking, a lot of people literally live from weekend to weekend to weekend. I mean, that's their life. They're interrupted Monday through Friday with a job, very often that they hate. And then they can't wait to get to the weekend. But you know what? If you live your life that way, then there is most of your life, you're just sort of going through the motions and spinning your wheels and existing so that you can get to the weekend. And when you realize, if I'm average, I only got 400 left. That's sobering. That's a sort of, wow, I need to wake up and okay. And so for me, it was very consistent with what you've already said. We have to live in the moment and take these, thoughtfully with intention and purpose, move forward for Saturdays, of course, because you're right. Most people have their real fun on the weekends and particularly on Saturday, because Sunday you're getting ready to go back to work on Monday.
Right.
And so, it's, you're exactly right. But deciding to spend it on the right things. And of course, I think people can take this to the other extreme as well, whereas all I'm going to do is party and be obnoxious and destroy my body and whatever else things you're going to do on Saturday. And that's not it. Everything is a balance. But having that perspective for all of those of you who are about my age or younger or older, but in the same range, 400. on average. That's what we think about that. That's not much. 400.
No, it's not. And me personally, my target is 5,200 because I've said I'm going to break triple digits. So
Right.
I'm going for at least 5,200
Okay.
Saturdays. And you bring up a great point about the whole idea of people working all week just to get to the weekend. And it is kind of the way our culture has been set up.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to do things to make make that money so that you can have a decent place to live and all the material things that you need to function. And then sometimes there's not as much time left for recreation or just relaxing with family and friends. I think one of the things I challenge people to do, though, is figure out how you can sprinkle some Saturday into every other day of the week. Whether it's a couple hours in the evening or maybe first thing in the morning. So you can't make every day a Saturday. And at the same time, I think you can sprinkle a little bit of Saturday into every other day of the week with intention.
I agree. And especially during this new world order that we live in this work from home, post-COVID, increased use of technology and video and all that, because you could take what used to be part of your commute when we were all going to the office every day and turn that into a little bit of Saturday. There you go. During the work week, if you can. But even then, I wouldn't want anyone to run through the week just doing their job, just getting along, just making it only for the weekends, because relationships are important 7 days a week. And we need to be living in the moment, honestly, 7 days a week. So, and unfortunately, none of us are getting out of here alive. And so what are you going to do between now and then?
Not in the physical form anyways.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a gut check, when you look at those numbers and you're like, damn, one of the examples that I also heard was, you could have you certainly have the mental picture of that, this is how many I have and this is how many I've used. One example I read was taking jars of marbles, and now that you know where you're at, using this number of 4,000, what's your number of marbles that are left in this jar, and then each Saturday you take a marble out and you put it over and get rid of it because you don't have that marble in that jar anymore.
And you ain't ever getting it back.
Nope.
It's like dropping it in the middle of the ocean. Gone. Never find it again. Yeah.
So, well, on its face, it could be somewhat depressing when you think about it. That's not the intent of the discussion, right? It's just to, maybe ask you to pump the brakes a little bit and realize that this number might not be as big as you think it is. The number, for many people, present company included, the number in front of us is smaller than the number behind us. And so, focus on how you're spending that time.
Right. That's exactly right. If you were to take each one of those Saturdays and put them together, into just a running tally, for me, I have just a little more than a year of Saturdays left. I think that's another way sort of, wow, because 365 days in a year, I got 400, I got a 1 year, a little more than 1 year left of Saturdays left in my life. Woo. It doesn't bother me personally, but some people, there might be some people listening who go, it really is like a 2x4 upside the head.
Yeah, I think you based that on 80, right?
Correct. Yeah, if you die when you're 80, that's right.
Yeah, you got more. I think you got way more time than that.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we'll still be doing this when you're 80. I'll and if you check out before that, I'm gonna prop you up in the chair over here. It'll be like a weekend at Bernie's.
Very good. I look forward to it.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's all I got.
I'm good with it, man. I appreciate the discussion, and hopefully that gave some folks something to think about.
You bet.
And you start putting those hard numbers in front of you. It's like, whoa, Yeah, it'll cause you to think
Right.
how you
Right.
spent those Saturdays.
Yes, indeed. Thanks for the topic.
All right, you are welcome, sir. I'm gonna reach over here and hit this button. Roll out with something like this. No matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, make sure between this podcast and the next, you take time
To enjoy the ride.
and your Saturday.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Graybeard Chronicles. Please subscribe so you'll receive notification when new episodes are available. To learn more about the Graybeards, visit their website, graybeardchronicles.com.